Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to another live Manchester United news and latest Manchester United news transfer update live stream. Lots and lots to talk about. I wasn't live yesterday, but I did do 2 videos yesterday on the whole Richard Arnold situation, so make sure you go check them out. I will discuss it a little bit in this video because I'd like to see your guys' opinion on the Richard Arnold situation. But we've got lots and lots to talk about. We've got an insider sort of talking about Ten Hag's plan for the youth academy, the youth players that have caught his eye, his plans, all of that. We've got a big update on De Jong and actually like something new happening with De Jong. Fabrizio Romano's basically said the De Jong deal is going to happen in the next few days. About time. Tyrone Malacia, who we were linked to about a month ago. I did a video on him about a month ago and a little bit of analysis on him a month ago. This like left back from Feyenoord. A lot of people watched him play in the Conference League final against Roma. Looks very good. He seems to be our reported target after Eriksen and De Jong. We've lost out on Nunes. We've basically lost out on Timber. So it seems it's going to be Tyrone Malacia, Eriksen, De Jong, possibly Edson Alvarez of Ajax if we do get an Ajax player, and maybe an Anthony or an attacker this transfer window. But we've got a bit of an update on Malacia. We've got a bit of an update on Eriksen. You've obviously got Marcel van der Kraan that's come out, a very good journalist, Dutch journalist, talking about the De Jong, Christian Eriksen, JURRIEN Timber exclusive, which I'm going to get in as well. A little bit of transfer news, a little bit of Ten Hag's plans, and more. But please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. Please do share the video and all of that as well. Louis van Gaal is proof that just because you can say philosophy, it doesn't make you a good manager, useless manager. I don't think Louis van Gaal was a bad manager, and I do think the title of Louis van Gaal is a disgrace is a bit dramatic, because at the end of the day, the Man United board is a disgrace because the Man United board caused this issue with Louis van Gaal. And, I think Louis van Gaal needs to let it go. His dislike to United. The reason I'm not happy with Louis van Gaal is because he told Erik ten Hag not to join United. He was trying to stop Frenkie de Jong joining United, and it seems that he might have succeeded in stopping JURRIEN Timber join United, and that's why I'm annoyed with Van Gaal. Now, you can't really blame Van Gaal for having a dislike towards United. The board treated him poorly, but at the end of the day, the board treated Mourinho poorly. He seemed to let it go. He's like, well, I've proved myself right, because look how Ollie failed, and look how Ragnick failed, and Moise let it go, and Ollie let it go. Moise. Why am I saying Moise? I sound like Ollie. Moise. But they all let it go, and Louis van Gaal just can't seem to let his hatred towards United go, and it's affecting the fans. Van Gaal, you won us an FA Cup, you were treated poorly by the board, but your football was fucking boring. Let's be honest, it fucking was. You needed to go, but you didn't get the backing. You did have to work with that horrid board, but the thing that annoys about Louis van Gaal is he told Timber basically if he goes to United, he won't get called up for the Netherlands or the World Cup. And he said, maybe if you play week in, week out, you will. It's a joke because Nathan Ake fucking doesn't play for Man City. He gets called up. He plays under Van Gaal. It's Louis van Gaal doing a threat because the situation that's come out is Timber to United was done. Timber to United was 99% done. I mean, there was an agreement. Timber's agents were meeting in London to finalise the deal. United were going to pay the money. Ajax were going to let him go. Timber had agreed to join United. We know this from Romano. We know this from exclusives. We know this from top-tier journalists. The Timber to United was practically done. It probably would have been done if he didn't go on international duty. The deal probably would have been done if he didn't go on international duty. The United were willing to pay. Ten Hag wanted him. It was all agreed, bish, bash, bosh. And then all of a sudden, he goes on international break and he sort of changed his mind. He's leaning towards staying at Ajax, signing a new contract and all of that. Now, I think there's obviously hope that Erik ten Hag can change Timber's mind and maybe have a conversation with him and all of that, because we do know Erik ten Hag really wants him and he's the #1 priority. But I'm very frustrated with how Louis van Gaal sort of stopped this deal happening. I think, we did sack him after winning the FA Cup, but Van Gaal needs to get over it, as Irish said. And I find it really frustrating as a Manchester United fan. I remember when Van Gaal fell over in front of the ref versus Arsenal. I mean, look, Louis van Gaal had some iconic moments, the falling over, the FA Cup final, exactly. But honestly, I'm just frustrated with the whole situation. Sorry, but Louis van Gaal's kind of right. The board treated him like crap, but I think, he plays Ake, so why is he giving Timber this threat? at the end of the day, you know, you can't be angry at Timber. Timber's just turned 21 years of age. He can do another year at Ajax. He doesn't need to make the move to Man United so early, but it's just frustrating because the move was nearly done. It would have been our first transfer. It was that close. We've got inside information. If you've been watching me for a while and watching my Timber updates, you'll know just how close Timber was from reliable sources. It literally confirmed they were going to finalise the deal when he went on international break, and then they put a stop to it because Timber had a panic. Timber wanted to come to United. He gave them a verbal agreement. United agreed some stuff with Ajax and all of that. And, you know, Louis van Gaal sort of got in the way of that, and it's very, very frustrating. Buying and getting Mane, Gravenberch, Maserari and Lema for less than we're going to pay for De Jong. It infuriates me. You make a really good point there, Gigi. It absolutely infuriates me how bad Man United are at transfers. It infuriates me that we've probably lost out on Jurrien Timber. On top of losing out on Darwin Núñez, that were two of Erik ten Hag's three main transfers. We need to get Frenkie de Jong done this week. From what Fabrizio Romano said, Frenkie de Jong will be done this week. But United need to hurry up on it because, you know, Louis van Gaal basically stopped us getting Timber, and, you know, and hopefully we'll put our energy and we'll get Timber back. But Ten Hag's plan is clearly De Jong, Eriksen, Timber, someone else and someone else. You know, we wanted 5 players. Will he get 5 players? I don't know. Richard Arnold saying that, you know, they're going to deliver Ten Hag what he wants, and Ten Hag's giving them a list and all of that. We have to see what happens, but it's really, really frustrating. Honestly, really, really frustrating with the whole Louis van Gaal situation because Timber's exactly what we needed. He was in the plan. We've already missed out on one player in the plan, in Núñez, and to miss out on another player because of silly threats from Van Gaal on international duty, it winds me up, to be fair. I think Van Gaal needs to just get over it and let it go. I think that's bitterness and spitefulness from Van Gaal. If it was Man City, he wouldn't have said anything. It is pure bitter and spitefulness from Louis van Gaal, and he has reasons to be bitter, but it's been, you know, a good 5, 6, 7 years, you know, it's been time, and I think it's just absolutely pathetic from Louis van Gaal. And what was said, and it's come out from what Marcel van der Kraan said about the whole situation, was that Louis van Gaal made it clear that Jurrien Timber would not be in the Dutch team if he wasn't playing every week for Man United. Van der Kraan also said that the Jurrien Timber to Man United deal was absolutely dead in the water. The player was ready to move and his agent went to London offices 2 weeks ago. Money was never a problem. Then Van Gaal turned up. Literally confirmed by a top-tier journalist. The deal was about to happen. Van Gaal turned up. The deal ain't happening now. Very likely. And it's really frustrating because it's a deal we could easily get done. And I still think Erik ten Hag could convince Timber to come and all of that. You know, you've got to think, you know, it's easy to get Ajax players. Ajax is selling. Haller's gone. Gravenberch is gone. So many players have left Ajax. Maserati, I can't say my names, but so many players have left Ajax. And, you know, if, you know, we need to get an Ajax player now because they're not going to be selling the whole squad. If you want Edson Alvarez, if you want Jurrien Timber, if you want Anthony, we need to get them now because they ain't going to sell the whole squad and they've already sold fucking half. You know, it's a frustrating situation with Timber. And I think as of now, the Timber situation is not happening. 2 weeks ago, Timber to United, I would have put money on it happening. Honestly, 2 weeks ago, I think anyone would have put money on Timber happening to United because no one could foresee what Van Gaal was going to do. And now it's like Timber to United. It could still happen. I still think Louis van Gaal will have chats with Timber because we know how determined, not Louis van Gaal, sorry. I still think Erik ten Hag will have chats with Timber because we know how determined Erik ten Hag is for Timber. We know that Timber's in his plans, but you know, all the reliable Dutch sources saying Timber way more likely to stay at Ajax, could even sign a new contract with Ajax. And at the end of the day, if you're Jurrien Timber, you're 21, you don't need to make that move from Ajax yet. As much as I'd like him, there's a lot of reasons for him to stay at Ajax. However, Ten Hag wants him, and we'll have to wait and see. But I think Timber is in the water, as it's been said, and it's really disappointing. I'm really pissed off, and I think Van Gaal's been absolutely spiteful and silly with that one because I wasn't bothered about us missing out Darwin Núñez. You know, I never really wanted Darwin Núñez. My only frustration with Darwin Núñez was that he was a key target and we missed out on him. But I'm very upset that we missed out on Jurrien Timber because I know how much Erik ten Hag wanted him and how key he was to Erik ten Hag's plans. You know, there's now reports coming out in the last few days that Erik ten Hag has big plans for Maguire and Varane. Do you think Erik ten Hag really wants his first thought was Maguire and Varane are going to be my centre back 6 weeks ago? No. Erik ten Hag was thinking about Timber and the way he's going to play, and he's lost out on one target, he's lost out on two, and you know it's a very difficult time for Ten Hag because Arsenal got free signings, Liverpool have got free signings, City have got free signings, Spurs have got free signings, Chelsea about to get Raheem Sterling, which is an absolutely mad signing. And Man United have sat here and we've done absolutely nothing. I will get into the Eriksen news because Eriksen is looking more likely to come to Manchester United, and there's been some big updates on that. There's a good point from Adam here. If Timber don't believe in himself to play over Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof, etc., how can you want him at the club? And that is a very solid point from Adam. At the end of the day, Timber's 21. Is he guaranteed game time or not? I think Timber should believe in himself and that he will play, but that is a solid point, and I think that's the best way of looking at it, to be fair, as well. We should not let Van Gaal bring down the club. I absolutely agree. It's between United and Arsenal, surely, for Martinez. He picks United. I don't think we are interested in Martinez, but we solely wanted Jurrien Timber. The thing is, if Martinez leaves, which I think he is going to leave Ajax, that means Jurrien Timber stays. And reports of Jurrien Timber's new contract means that Martinez could leave. You know, the Arsenal to Martinez links from David Ornstein are relatively new, and the Arsenal have only been linked to Martinez since the Jurrien Timber Van Gaal situation. So it's a worrying one again with that, because, you know, do we go for Martinez of Ajax as well? But he did want Timber, and this is the situation we've been in. And if we go back to the whole Richard Arnold situation, obviously Richard Arnold went down to the pub, spoke with fans recorded it. And Richard Arnold, one of the things he said is, if you look at the training ground, you think, where's that £1 billion gone? And Richard Arnold was sort of speaking about, you know, he doesn't want to do transfers. He doesn't want to, you know, repeat the failure of Ed Woodward. You can look on the training ground. We haven't spent £1 billion. And, well, we might do that again. We might spend £1 billion, but, you know, not on the right players. We've lost Erik ten Hag's #1 attacker in Núñez. We've lost his #1 defender in Timber. If you're getting Erik ten Hag's 3rd or 4th choice centre-back in, you know, it's like a bit, you're just wasting money. You need to get their 1st or 2nd choice. Now, De Jong is the 1st choice. Eriksen is a 1st choice, and I know he likes Malacia, but Timber was a main target. You know, now if you're getting maybe if Martinez goes, maybe you're getting your 3rd or 4th choice centre back. You know, Man United the last few years have been getting 3rd or 4th choice players to managers because they're cheaper and it's not worked out. You know, and that is what frustrates me as well. We're just going to waste more money as well. Alice, you're in Wonderland if you think we're signing De Jong. David, this week. I'm just going to say this week is what we've been told. In my video on Thursday, I did say someone told me that De Jong will be done Tuesday. When I say done, not announced by United or anything like that, but I mean like done is by we'll know it's done from Romano kind of situation. And then you wait for him to get back to from his holiday, have his medical, have the announcement, you know, announce the new shirt sponsor. But I got told on Thursday De Jong would be wrapped up this Monday. You know, we'd probably get Here He Goes tomorrow. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. The person who told me that could make it up. The person that's told me that could make it up. I ain't a journalist. I know nothing more than you do. But we've also been heard from Romano that it's going to be done in the next few days. So unless something catastrophic happens, I think the deal will be done. And I think we should be very positive about De Jong to Manchester United. I am trying to get into a few live chats, so please do bear with. All these Ajax players would have a good chat with Donny about the mess at United. We ruined his career. That's why Tim decided to stay at Holland. I think you know, if you're Jurrien Timber and you look at Donny van der Beek, you know that makes you more likely want to stay in the Netherlands. I absolutely agree. But at the same time, you know, Jurrien Timber's wanted by Ten Hag. It's so different. It's a manager with a plan, and he's a player that's wanted by the manager. Was Donny even wanted by Ollie as well? Was he? No. Ajax will sell Martinez. That's why they're going to rally to keep Timber, and I think that's the case. And Ajax have lost more than half their starting 11 almost. Arsenal made a bid for Alvarez too. Exactly. I think Jurrien Timber's gone. I think the deal's gone. David Lee says he doesn't trust or believe anyone at United, and I don't blame David for saying that as well. And as Gaz says, we are on 100 likes, guys, so please do smash that like button. Let's go for 400 likes on the live stream. We've got 400 people watching, so if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, please do hit that like button. I love Timber, but the fact that I thought he had a stronger mentality made me love him more. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, he needs to believe in himself. Exactly. After 9 years of transfer since 2013, clearly no guarantee that it'll bring success. We should have learned from those 9 years to build structure. Must come from academy players. Well, look, I am going to talk about academy players and plans for academy players and all of that. But United so far are failing in the transfer window, but there is time. And Richard Arnold, when speaking to Man United fans, spoke to Man United fans with some confidence that, you know, Ten Hag was going to get what he wants. Richard Arnold said that, you know, allegedly, Richard Arnold said, we've got officials in Barcelona sorting out the Frenkie de Jong deal. United confident they'll get the Frenkie de Jong deal done. That's who Ten Hag wants, and we'll build a team around Frenkie de Jong. Maybe we'll go for Eriksen next. Maybe we'll go for Malacia next, as reported. Maybe we'll be going in for the likes of Jurrien Timber and other targets. We'll have to wait and see as well. Apparently, Newcastle made an offer for Bailly. Yeah, we need to get rid of Bailly. He's been causing problems. I want to get into the news, though. So, obviously, Van Gaal being a bit of a spiteful prick. Timber was going to come to United 2 weeks ago. Timber to United was 99% going to happen. Like, people would put money on Timber to United 2 weeks ago. It was this close happening. It was 99% going to happen. Timber went on international duty. Louis Van Gaal got on his head. Timber's down himself. Timber to United, very unlikely to happen. Now, talking of a deal that is likely to happen and a deal that's likely to happen in the next week and maybe the next few days, as Romano's kind of hinted, and this is finally a positive, the Frenkie de Jong saga looks to be coming to a close, is obviously Frenkie de Jong. Now, it was said by Fabrizio Romano, and Fabrizio Romano only tweeted this about an hour ago, and he said negotiations between Manchester United and Barcelona are still on. The deal will now enter a key stage. Now, Romano's given us an update. You know, every single journalist for the last few weeks has been saying De Jong's closer, De Jong's accelerating. But Romano said the deal has now entered the key stages. So, you know, the deal is now in the final stages, said Romano. And obviously, Fabrizio Romano said that Manchester United are discussing about submitting a new proposal for Frenkie de Jong in the next days. And Romano said it's a very serious possibility that United submit a new proposal for Frenkie de Jong in the next days. And if Romano's talking about us submitting a new proposal, you know, Man United aren't going to submit a silly proposal. Man United aren't going to submit any kind of silly proposal. If Man United are serious about de Jong, they'll submit their proposal, they'll get it done. Barcelona want Bernardo Silva. Barcelona want to register other players. Barcelona are desperate to sell de Jong. This saga's been going on long enough. We've got officials in Barcelona. We're in the final stages. And Romano has said that, you know, a new proposal for Frenkie de Jong will come in the next days. And that is from the man himself, Fabrizio Romano. And I think that this week is Frenkie de Jong week. Well, I say next week because it's Sunday, but the week coming, I think it's Frenkie de Jong week, which is a massive positive. Smash a like on the video if you want Frenkie de Jong at Man United. Smash a like if you want the saga to finally be over, because I think we spent so much time on the Frenkie de Jong saga that we're missing out on other players. Lamar, Basuma, you know, Gravenberch, you know, all these kind of players we're missing out on. Timber, could we miss out on Malacia? What's the situation with Eriksen? You know, Liverpool, City, Arsenal and Tottenham have all got 3 players and then we've got no one. So, yeah, we really need to get this de Jong deal done. We need to focus on other signings because Ten Hag wanted his signings done by pre-season. That's a week away. Now, pre-season tour is 2 weeks away, but pre-season training is a week away. And Ten Hag wanted his business done by pre-season training, and nothing's been done. And I know Ten Hag's getting frustrated. Reports are coming out that Ten Hag's getting frustrated as well. SS16 says, even after seeing the whole season that we need a CDM and a striker because of Ronaldo's age, we go for another box-to-box midfielder. And if one player is taking so long, I don't know how many will sign. I agree. I think de Jong is a good signing, but I think we need to get a defensive midfielder to partner de Jong. If we get de Jong, we've let Matic and Pogba go. De Jong is there to replace Pogba. Who's there to replace Matic? Now, I believe once we get de Jong done, we will focus on the defensive midfielder. We have been linked to Edson Alvarez. We know that Ten Hag is desperate for 2 midfielders. De Jong, Eriksen, and another midfielder would shape the midfield. And we know midfield is Erik Ten Hag's #1 priority. And I do think once we get this de Jong deal done, bish, bash, boshed over the line, I think that we will look at a CDM to partner de Jong, maybe someone like Sangare, maybe Edson Alvarez, maybe Enzo Fernandez, because, you know, we need to replace Matic. We needed a CDM when Matic was at the club. We're definitely going to need a CDM when Matic isn't at the club. You know, Man City have Rodri, a really good CDM, and they're spending 60 million on Phillips just in case. We've got no CDM, no defensive midfielder. Everyone is a number 6. Everyone's a number 8, not a number 6 at the club. Frenkie de Jong is a box-to-box. We need a defensive player to play alongside with Frenkie de Jong in the box-to-box. Now, they don't have to be an out-and-out number 6. They don't have to be an out-and-out CDM, but they need to be a midfielder that can play in the defensive role with a pivot next to Frenkie de Jong. And signing Frenkie de Jong is a fantastic signing. He's integral to Ten Hag's plans. We want to build a team around Frenkie de Jong, but we've got to make sure we do build a team around Frenkie de Jong. If you put Frenkie de Jong next to McTominay, what do you expect? What do you expect? Frenkie de Jong's practically playing with is a sole pivot in midfield because McTominay is normally a ghost in games. You know, you need to get a good partner for de Jong. I stress this so much because we will struggle. We will struggle. You know, we need that protection for the defence. Our midfield is crap. De Jong is their Pogba replacement. I know he's a very different player to Paul Pogba, but de Jong is literally the Paul Pogba replacement to an extent. But we haven't got that Matic replacement sorted, and we needed a Matic replacement when Matic was at the club because he couldn't do it week in, week out. And we definitely need a Matic replacement now. And is it going to be James Garner? Are we going to fail to get Ten Hag 2 midfielders in and stick with James Garner? Because we know from Laurie Whitwell and The Athletic, which is a really good source of information, that Ten Hag wants 2 midfielders. He is looking at a defensive partner for Frenkie de Jong, and that midfield is a priority. You know, he doesn't just want Frenkie de Jong, he wants another midfielder. It's the question of will United back him and deliver 2 midfielders. It looks right now, it's Eriksen, Malacia, de Jong, an attacker, and then hopefully a midfield partner Frenkie de Jong. We know from Laurie Whitwell, a Tier 1 journalist, we've been looking at the likes of Kante and Edson Alvarez, and we do know from Tier 1 journalists we have looked at CDMs, just nothing has been advanced, but we are considering it. I've always said maybe with the CDM gate, maybe with the defensive midfield gate, we're going to get De Jong in first and then think about who we partner him with, because we want to build a team around De Jong. And maybe the reason we're only working on De Jong, we haven't got anyone else, is because we want to make sure we get De Jong so we can build a team around De Jong and he's integral to the plans. That's been made very clear. But at the end of the day, United should have got De Jong done 2 weeks ago when we should have been getting someone else done now. And, I think missing out on Timber's a big miss, missing out on Nunes is a big miss. But if we don't get a DM to partner De Jong, I think it's a massive miss as well. We need Anthony. I don't think we need Anthony. I'd like Anthony, but I don't think he's a must. I do think we need a right-sided, left-footed forward with Greenwood not coming back, very unlikely. But yeah, Frenkie de Jong's not going to save United. I don't think signing Frenkie de Jong will save United. I think you need to build a team around Frenkie de Jong, but I think he's a good player. He's a massive improvement on what we've got. He's a massive improvement on Scott McTominay. I think everyone could say that as well. After the structure was done, then we add 1 or 2 transfer players to connect the missing links on the pitch. United DNA, academy players, not transfer players. Mate, some of the academy players aren't good enough. We need to sign players, and then you can mold. You've got to sign players, build a good core. So when the academy players come in, they've got a nice core to step into. I have no idea why United are not looking for other CDMs. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But guys, people talk about Ruben Neves. Neves to United's not going to happen. Eriksen could happen. Garner could stay. Garner is in Ten Hag's plans, and Garner will go on pre-season. But it's De Jong, Eriksen, and Malacia are the 3 names we're being linked most strongly with at the moment. Guys, I'm going to get into some more news and all of that. Someone said Ten Hag sat by December. That won't happen. I'm going to get into some more news, guys. So please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more, please do subscribe. I'm 30 subscribers away from 38.8K. So it'd be really appreciated if you do go and click that subscribe button. I go live every single evening on the channel, keeping you guys up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more. So smash the like, do subscribe. I want to get into some more stories. We've spoken about Timber, we've spoken about De Jong. I do want to talk about Malacia, and I do want to talk about Christian Eriksen, and then I will get into some more live chat towards the end of the video. But Rob Draper said it's expected that Manchester United will move for Feyenoord left-back Tyrell Malacia once the club proceed to seal the Frenkie de Jong deal. Rob Draper, tier 2 source, not an amazing source, but not an awful source, a decent source of information, and it said we're going to move for Feyenoord left-back Tyrell Malacia once we get the Frenkie de Jong deal done. Now, obviously, really, really reliable Dutch outlooks linked us to Tyrell Malacia a month ago. I'm talking top reliability Dutch sources linked us to him a month ago. And said that we're in for him. I know we're in for him. I know we're interested in him, but also Lee are not interested in him. It depends how much United want Malacia. I think our right backs need him more than the left back. I think Luke Shaw will be fine under Ten Hag, but I think Tellers is awful. The only thing I don't get about the Malacia links is we've got Williams, we've got Tellers, we've got Luke Shaw, and none of them appear to be leaving the club. Why do we need another left back? If Malacia was a right back, I'd be all over it, because we're desperately trying to get rid of Wan-Bissaka. We'll only have Delo. And I think United are interested in Malacia, but I think if we do get Malacia, it's very much like, or Malaysia, however you say his name, it's very much like I expect us to get him right at the end of the transfer window. I don't expect it to happen now. I think he's a player we'd get once the outgoings are done. I think it will be De Jong. I think it will be Eriksen. I think it will be maybe an Anthony. And then I think it's you sell players, and then you look at, maybe, cool, can we get that centre-back in? Can we get that full-back in? I think Malacia is the type of player where he is more strongly linked to Lyon. We are obviously interested in him. We know from the best sources in the Netherlands, he is a player Ten Hag admires. He's a good young player. But I think it's not a deal that I could see happening in the next few weeks. I just think you'd have to sell Tellez or Brandon Williams to get him in. And I know Luke Shaw will stay. I know Delo will stay. We know we want to get rid of Wan-Bissaka. I know Ten Hag isn't a big fan of Tellez, but Tellez isn't up for sale as reported. He could be moved up for sale soon. I know Brandon Williams is likely up for loans for sale, but I think I think for him to sign, you'd have to get players out because of the depth in his position, even though it's depth of crap and deadwood. I think Eriksen you can get in. That's a Mata replacement. De Jong, you getting that's a Pogba replacement. I think you need to get another midfielder in as a Matic replacement. I think Anthony comes in and he replaces fucking Lingard, Greenwood, Cavani, whoever really. But I think the other players, obviously a centre back will come in like Timber, hopefully, and that wouldn't be a replacement for anyone. But I think any other players we get in, I think would be later stages. I do want to talk about Eriksen because Eriksen to United seems to be the first deal that could happen once the De Jong goes over the line. It seems like it could be De Jong and Eriksen. But thank you very much, Rob, for the Supersat saying, please do like, sub and share. Stay informed with Alice. Happy Father's Day to all the United dads out there as well. Yes, big up, Rob. Thanks for the support. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there as well. Alice, someone said Laird's a good right back coming through. So Alice, are we going to sign a defender? I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything more than you know. All I do is read up what journalists say and put two and two together, and I just go with me. I just look at what the reliable journalists say, what the decent journalists say. I put two and two together, and I think we can understand what United's plans are. United's plan is to sign a defender. We know from Romano, we know from top journalists, United plan to sign a defender. But we also know what Man United are like in the transfer window. We also know how idiotic Manchester United are like. Man United plan to sign a defender. Ten Hag wants a defender, but Man United don't always deliver on plans or what the manager wants. You know, we didn't back Ollie, we didn't back Van Gaal, we didn't back, Moyes. Moyes wanted Kroos, he got Fellaini. Do you know what I mean? Ollie wanted Sancho, Bellingham, and Grealish in one transfer window and got Donny, Ahmad, and Pellistri. Do you know what I mean? Louis Van Gaal wanted Sir Alex Ferguson wanted Benzema and he got Michael Owen. Louis Van Gaal wanted lots of players and he got crap. Ten Hag wants a defender. We might end up signing another bloody goalkeeper and go, oh, but that's part of the defence, isn't it? Or we might go Tuanzebe's like a new signing. Ten Hag, get the best out of him. Tuanzebe's had 2 shit loan spells, and I like Tuanzebe. And I was saying last year he should be playing over Maguire, but he's been shit on loan, absolutely shit. Honestly, why is Fred still here? Fred has been one of our best players under Rangnick. Why is Maguire still here? Because he's captain and we can't sell him because we won't get anywhere near the 80 million back. And it's such a significant investment that we feel the need. We have to play Maguire. McTominay needs to go. Tellers and Delo need to go. Shaw need to go. Wan-Bissaka need to go. Unfortunately, I can understand your frustration with those players. But some of those players and most of those players will be here next season and they could be important players for us next season. They haven't been good this season, but Ten Hag is here to get the best out of some of the underperforming players. We've seen Luke Shaw have good moments for United. We've seen Maguire have good moments for United. And Fred was very good for United under Rangnick. I'm not saying that they're part of the long-term plan. I'm not saying they should be playing for Manchester United in 3 years. But I think if they can find their form back and we start playing well, they can do a job for us next season. We can't sell 20 players and buy 20 players. We can sell 5, we can buy 5. And we've got 5 players we need to sell. And that is Wan-Bissaka, Bailly. They're the 2 priorities you don't want to get rid of. Tuanzebe, Jones, and reportedly, obviously, Martial. But I want to keep Martial. I do want to keep Martial. I don't think we're going to sign a striker. The striker market is absolutely dead. Ronaldo's not going to be able to play week in, week out or stay fit. I really want United to keep Martial because I think he will be quite good. I do. I think... Oh, let me take a quick drink. I think Martial will be quite good and useful next season under Erik ten Hag. I really do hope we keep Martial, but again, we'll have to wait and see with that one. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe down below if you're new as well. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers, but first of all, we're on the road to 39,000 subscribers. We're on 38,773 subscribers, so we're 27 subscribers away from 38.8k. I'm sure there's 27 of you guys watching right now that are not subscribed to the channel. It costs nothing to subscribe. It's absolutely free. And if you do want to stay up to date with daily Manchester United news, transfer news updates, content, live shows, interactions, and more, please do subscribe. The Frenkie de Jong deal, according to Romano, is very likely to be done this week. So the minute we know the de Jong deal is done, bish, bash, bosh, I will be live to let you guys know. So do make sure you're subscribed as well. Breaking news updates, uploads, and all of that. Pre-season, a couple of weeks away, I will be doing watch-alongs, match reactions for pre-season games. I will be doing transfer news videos, 10 Hag plans videos, and all of that. So if you're not subscribed, please do go and click that subscribe button as well. Haller is more needed than Anthony. I think Anthony's probably a better player for us. But look, I look at the right-wing situation. I just go, I'd rather give Ahmad and Pellistri a chance than spend 50 million on another right winger. Because at the end of the day, Sancho can play right wing. Rashford can play right wing, even though they're better on the left. Alanga can do a job. Donny could always do a job there. Bruno could always do a job there. MEJBRI could always do a job there. Garnacho can play there. But also, you look at our actual right wingers, Pellistri and Ahmad. They are decent players. We spent all this money on Pellistri and Ahmad, and we've never really given them a first-team chance, a first-team run-in. And Ten Hag is a manager that's known for getting the best out of the youth and seeing the best in the youth. And I really think, that's what we should be looking to do as well. Been signing De Jong for about 10 years now. Call it 20 years. And big up Diego saying everyone do subscribe to Alice. Thank you, Diego, for that as well. United can't release all the players this rebuild. We need 2 or 3 windows to build a whole team. Exactly. We've got to be patient as a fan base. We've got to be patient with a fan base. And I hate that word because we've been patient for 9 years and it's going to be another few years. But, Ten Hag's not going to make miracles happen this year. Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham and Arsenal are already better than us and they're already having a better transfer window than us. How are we meant to catch them up next season if they're better than us and had a better transfer window? Well, we'll have to wait and see and judge the transfer window in August. But we've got a new manager, we've got big changes and all of that. I do want to get into some more news and transfer news. So Christian Eriksen to Manchester United. So Marcel van der Kraan, a very good journalist from the Netherlands, has spoken about Eriksen and Frenkie de Jong. He said if they don't get Frenkie de Jong and Christian Eriksen for Erik ten Hag, it would be a breakdown of his identity, model and style. And it's come out from the Netherlands that Ten Hag's plan is to build a sort of a team around Eriksen and de Jong, which doesn't look good for Bruno because Eriksen would play in Bruno's role. I've seen a fan put on Twitter a midfield three of Bruno, Eriksen and de Jong. Bruno, Eriksen and de Jong in a midfield three doesn't work. You don't play one box-to-box with 2 attacking midfielders. What the fuck? He's not going to play a midfield three of that. Eriksen would play where Bruno played. And apparently his whole plan is to do with de Jong and Eriksen and build a midfield three around that, which is really, really interesting. Which I don't know because apparently Ten Hag never approved of Bruno's new contract. So it'll be really interesting to see what he does with Bruno. I think, and this is just a prediction, but I think Erik ten Hag could play Bruno on the right. I do. Because if you look at Hakim Ziyech, he played as sort of a 10 and a right winger for Ajax. And although Bruno isn't left-footed, and we know that Ten Hag would want a left-footed right winger to do those sort of inverted crosses, Ziyech sort of played on that right and did hero ball, hero ball, hero ball. And Ten Hag liked that. And potentially, if you don't get Antony, I could see Bruno on the right, Eriksen as a cam, de Jong, and then hopefully a new signing in the pivot with de Jong. But it seems that Eriksen, and it's come from a very good source, is pivotal to Ten Hag's plan. We do know Eriksen, although there's links between Eriksen and Spurs, and Eriksen had a good relationship with Conte, Eriksen didn't leave Spurs in the best fashion. And we also know Eriksen's got very good links to Ajax. He went and trained with Ten Hag. It's a very good relationship with Ten Hag. So Eriksen's making a decision, making his mind up. But we know Eriksen and de Jong are very crucial to Ten Hag's plans. Marcel van der Kraan also spoke about de Jong and Eriksen and said Erik ten Hag doesn't want any other players apart from those first 2. Ten Hag says he's seen the style of Barcelona and Ajax, and if you want to play a certain attacking style, then you need Frenkie. So very much Ten Hag has a plan where he needs de Jong and Eriksen to play that style, and they're the players he knows that can play that style. And I think, again, that relates to all the articles that have been coming out the last few weeks saying there's no alternative for Frenkie de Jong. Fabrizio Romano said just 2 days ago, plan A, B, C, D, and E all involve Frenkie de Jong. There's no backup to Frenkie de Jong. There's no, all these rumours to Neves are just bullshit rumours, spin, trying to scare Barcelona. There's no alternative to Frenkie de Jong. It's de Jong or no one because there's no one Ten Hag wants other than Frenkie de Jong, which is maybe why we're spending so much time and effort on it. But our whole plan revolves around de Jong and then ideally, apparently, Eriksen as well. And that is the whole plan to how we're going to play going forward and all of that. Marcel van der Kraan also said with Eriksen at the beginning of this year, he's come back from his heart shock. Erik ten Hag was able to witness this with his own eyes and see the fitness of Eriksen again with those performances at Brentford, and it's really convinced him as well. We know that Ten Hag has a good relationship with Eriksen. Donny is in the plans. United did get offers for Donny, but Erik ten Hag has plans to play Donny. De Jong, Eriksen, Bruno could work in some matches. It could work if Bruno was on the right, Eriksen was in the middle, De Jong was in the middle, below Eriksen, and there was a defensive midfielder. It wouldn't work as that sole midfield three, I don't believe, unless you're playing like a Norwich or maybe a Nottingham Forest, but I just don't see how we'd get the ball from defence to attack. But Donny will be in the plans and all of that as well. Do not worry about Donny van der Beek. Tactics are good, players are not so much. We've got a good manager with good tactics, but I do agree. Interested FC, we are interested FC, but it's lots of decent journalists are saying interested FC could turn into finally getting their first signing done in the next few days. So we'll have to wait and see. Bruno needs to find his form back, even for Portugal. He's not playing well. He played well for them the other day, but it's very hit and miss. Bruno is a good player on his day, but a shit player not on his day. Bruno is like I don't know what Bruno is. Bruno's either fucking amazing or fucking shit. Like there is no in between. You either get top class Bruno or shit Bruno. He's never average. He's amazing or shite. And unfortunately, we need amazing Bruno because shite Bruno, absolutely shite. Now, I like Bruno Fernandes, still rate Bruno Fernandes. I think there are Man United fans that, they're frustrated with Bruno and Rashford because they were incredibly poor last season. But I don't understand why some United fans are writing off Bruno and Rashford. 2 years ago, they were our best players. there is a good player in Rashford. There is a good player in Bruno. They're just out of form. And I think, you know what, we can't sell them. We've got players that we need to sell more. I think people are writing off Bruno and Rashford way too early. People are doing lineups where Bruno and Rashford are being sold. I think people are writing off too early. If Bruno finds form, if Rashford finds form, they are good players. Like, I believe in Bruno. I believe in Rashford. I think they've been crap this season. I've got eyes. But I think if they find form, they're a good player. And I'll stick with that. And I will say that. Martial, again, if Martial finds form, he is a good player. And Erik ten Hag, because he's not going to be able to get loads of players in and out, he's going to have to rely on himself getting the best out of underperforming players. And that's been said. Erik ten Hag knows that. And I will say, and what really infuriates me is Marcus Rashford has been crap this season. I think Marcus Rashford has been our worst player this season because of just, he couldn't even get in the lineup. At least Maguire could, and the disappointment of Marcus Rashford. I've always said this. But Marcus Rashford's training incredibly hard. He's doing a lot of PR, he's doing a lot of spin, you can say that, whatever. But you can see he's training incredibly hard and is incredibly determined to get back in that Man United squad. He's not going on holiday, he's not living the life, he's working hard. There's a lot coming about Rashford and his plans, and he wants to prove himself under Erik ten Hag. He can't leave United. And, you can't fault Rashford for that. He's trying. Bruno wants to get his form back. All the United players want to get their form back. And I think, to say, write Rashford off after a poor season and a half as they sell him, let's be honest, we've got players we need to sell more than Rashford. We've got players we need to sell more than Bruno, because 2 years ago, Rashford and Bruno were carrying us because we were shite. And yes, Rashford and Bruno's play style probably suits a negative team that sits back, counterattacks, and, carrying teammates. Maybe not Ten Hag style of football, but I think people are writing some of our players off too early. I think and people call me crazy. If you get I want realistically 7-8 new signings and Ten Hag to get back to like we had the money of Newcastle and the owners at Man City. I do, of course I do, but I'm not an idiot. It's not FIFA. And I think at the end of the day, the way I see it is get Malacia in, get Timber in, who are unlikely to get in now, get De Jong in, get Eriksen in, who's a free, so I don't count Eriksen as a transfer, get Sangare in to partner De Jong, and then maybe go and get an Anthony or an attacker. Okay, get those players in. You bring those players in, and let's hope Ten Hag gets the best out of Luke Shaw. Let's hope Ten Hag gets the best out of Martial, Rashford, Bruno. And then you've got a team that looks good. But I think a big question for Ten Hag and a big thing for next season is, will Ten Hag be able to get the best out of some of United's underperforming players? I think that is a big question as well. Wolves want 80 million for Neves, says Nick. Yeah, no way are we paying that. Stupid amounts. Honestly, can't believe we're going to watch football on a Thursday night. I can't, but I've accepted it. And you know what? Even if we're in the Champions League, I actually think, and I'm trying to look at the positives, other than the transfer pool and the money and the value we have being in the Champions League, I will say this. Maybe the Europa League is better, right? With the situation we're in, and I don't want to be in Europa League. Do not twist these words. But we wouldn't challenge in the Champions League. And I don't know if we're going to get top four, because Spurs are strengthened, Arsenal are strengthened, Chelsea are better than us, City are better than us, Liverpool are better than us, Newcastle are getting better. I don't think we'll get top four next season. I can't tell you until I see our transfer window. Unless we get De Jong and a defensive partner for De Jong in midfield, I don't think we'll get top four. I think our best hope of getting Champions League football next season, when it will be important, is through the Europa League or winning the Champions League. It's a lot easier to win the Europa League than the Champions League. And I think we're in a season where, Champions League isn't pivotal this season. It's the first season of the rebuild. You don't need Champions League. We need 5 signings. We need Malacia, we need Timber, we need De Jong, we need a partner for De Jong, we need an attacker, and we need Eriksen. 5 signings, okay? That's 6, but Eriksen's 3. We need 5 signings, okay? Ronaldo can't play week in, week out. So Ronaldo can play once a week, but he can't play twice a week. You can see when he played twice a week, he's tired. If you play in the Europa League, you can rest Ronaldo. If you play in the Europa League, you can rest players of the squad, especially in the group stages. You can give opportunities to Garnacho, MEJBRI, Garner, who are all in Ten Hag's plans, ALVARO, FERNANDEZ. You have an opportunity to rotate the squad and try new things in Europa League. In Ten Hag's first season, where he doesn't know the squad, he wants to integrate the youth, and it's the first season of the rebuild. It's going to be a difficult season. Maybe the Europa League is better for that adaptment period. And again, if we need to be in the Champions League next season, this season's okay to be in the Europa League, but next season, if we want to get the signings that we need to get 2 years into the rebuild and level up, you need to be in the Champions League. And I think our best route of being in the Champions League is winning Europa League. And winning a trophy, winning the Europa League, I would honestly, if someone said to me, finish second and win no trophies, or finish 5th and win the Europa League under Ten Hag. I would rather finish 5th and win the Europa League under Ten Hag. I love the Europa League. It's actually a brilliant trophy. But I think this season we can afford to be in the Europa League because of the rebuild, the adaptations we have to make, the youth coming through. I think it would actually maybe benefit us more being in the Europa League if you look at it from a perspective of if you play in the Champions League, you've got to play Ronaldo twice a week. He drops off when he plays twice a week. If you play in the Europa League, that's a week's rest for Ronaldo. So if Ronaldo's only playing in the Premier League, he'll be better in the Premier League games. And Europa League's a better way to get into the Champions League because, like right now, I wouldn't put United in top 4. If we have a really good chance to win and we come out in August with a really good chance to win, I predict it's top 4. But Spurs, Arsenal, Liverpool, City, and Chelsea are better than us. The Premier League is the new Super League. Our best hope at top 4 right now, I think, is winning Europa League. So I don't mind being in Europa League this season. That is my way of looking at it. I don't mind it. I've accepted it. Next season, I won't accept it. 1 year in the Europa League, if it's the first year of a rebuild, I'll accept it. Next year, I don't want to be in the Europa League whatsoever. And it's going to be difficult to get in the Champions League because people, I think, assume that Ten Hag's going to come in and solve all these problems. He's not. He's not at all. Ten Hag's going to have to completely change the style of football we play. It's a complete difference from Ole, more intense. He's got to get players in, get players out. He's got to sort out the dressing room. He's got to work with players that he would never want to work with, and he work with players that would not know his way. He's got to work with the board. Ten Hag's got an incredibly difficult job. I think people assume he's going to come in and it's going to be fine. It's Klopp didn't get top 4 in his first season with Liverpool. It's an incredibly difficult process, and the Europa League, I think, gives Ten Hag a little bit of a period to experiment. So I'm actually okay with being in Europa League. Tell me about the De Jong update. I'd recommend checking out Fabrizio Romano's Twitter, but I will read it for you. Negotiations between Man United and Barcelona are still on, and the deal will now enter a key stage, said Fabrizio Romano. He said that Manchester United are internally discussing about submitting a new proposal for Frenkie de Jong in the next days. It's serious now. Romano saying the deal's got serious and it's likely to be submitted in the next few days as well. But as Nick said, United and Barcelona are not far from agreeing a de Jong fee. LVG, loser Van Gaal. I love that one from Rob. I agree with you, Alice. This year, Europa may not be the worst thing, provided we move, of course, next year. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be in Europa next season, but I think this season is the rebuild season. I think we can be in Europa. And maybe a season in Europa is prescription. We need to get the most out of these players. Exactly as well. I agree as well. He never said 200 mil. He was just throwing numbers out there. I don't think he's set a budget like that. There was reports of a 200 million budget, but when you look at the video, he's just throwing numbers out there as well. Do you admire what Arteta's doing at Arsenal? Yeah, I can see what Arteta's building, if I'm going to be honest, and I think he's doing a decent job, and he seems to be getting the right players in as well. I'm fucking jealous of Arsenal's window. They've basically got Jesus in. They've got that Vieira midfielder in that I'm not too familiar with. They've got William Saliba coming back from loan that's brilliant. They've got that Marquinhos young guy that's good. They're about to get Rafinha. They're about to get Tielemans, and they're also in for that Ajax centre-back, which should be an absolute mad window, in the depth they have will be mad. And, the one thing that Arsenal will worry about is depth, but if they get all those signings, Arsenal are good for next season. Key stage forever, but this is the first time we've been, it'd be closer. We've been getting told it's closer forever. This is the first time we've actually been heard it's a key stage and United are going to submit a bid, and that's been said by Romano as well. Eriksen's pivotal to Ten Hag's plans. Eriksen's got offers from Brentford, Spurs, and United, and he's making his mind up, but United are confident they can get Eriksen. That is the situation with Eriksen as well. Rafinha going Barca, I think he's more likely to go Arsenal because of Barca want Bernardo Silva and all these players. I think that he will go Arsenal. And great content. Thank you very much, Jean, for the support as well. But I just want to quickly, one sec, let me change that. Europa League. Sorry. I want to just get into a little bit more news. So, obviously, I want to get into Ten Hag's plan for the Youth Academy. And I might make a video on this tomorrow to sum it up, to be fair. But so Steve Bates has come out with sort of an inside report about Ten Hag and his thoughts on the academy. And, I think this is really interesting because, we hear a lot about who Ten Hag wants in and out. He wants buyout. He wants Wan-Bissaka out. He's happy to keep Delo. He's happy to keep Rashford. He's happy to keep Sancho. We haven't heard much about James Garner or MEJBRI or Garnacho or ALVARO Fernandes. Now, it was said about 2 months ago, ALVARO Fernandes, James Garner, MEJBRI and Garnacho were the 4 youth players Ten Hag had involved in his plans at United, and they're ones who admire. It's come out from Steve Bates, and he did this big inside article on Ragnick and everything going on, decent journalist, saying that Erik Ten Hag is very impressed by Hannibal MEJBRI. But the main story that come out from Steve Bates is this, and this is what I want to get into actually, because this isn't the thumbnail and I've not even got into it, saying Erik Ten Hag told senior staff at Manchester United he intends to fast-track Alejandro Garnacho's United career. he is planning for Garnacho to play a much bigger role next season. So about, Erik ten Hag has big plans for Garnacho, going to give him a big role. It's also said that Lionel Messi is said to be impressed by Garnacho's ability and confidence from when he trained with him in Argentina. Garnacho is living life, training with Messi at international duty, training with Ronaldo at club duty. Garnacho, my God, he's living the life. But it was also said that Ten Hag has previously asked for details and report from Garnacho from Man United's head of academy, Nick Cox, and that Manchester United are now prioritising a new 6-year deal for Garnacho. Apparently, United are going to offer Alejandro Garnacho a new 6-year deal, which is what I wanted to talk about, which I think is absolutely crazy. I want your thoughts on Garnacho's 6-year deal. I think to give a player that young a 6-year deal is a bit silly. I can see why, with the potential he has, but you don't want to fuel egos. You don't want to be putting someone on ridiculous wages. I'm happy to give Garnacho a 6-year deal if it's not crazy wages. If we make a player feel like they're the best and they haven't made it yet, that's when you cause problems. I don't think Garnacho's got an attitude problem or anything like that. I think Garnacho has his head screwed on, but I think, we need to make sure we don't overpay a youth player too young, because people get too big for their boots. Once they get their first major contract, and I'm not saying Garnacho will, but youth players in the past, once they get the first big contract and their money and all of that, they think, oh, I don't need to work as hard now. I've got what I want. I don't think Garnacho will do that. But a 6-year contract for Garnacho is a big contract. I'm not against it. Just don't give him crazy wages, because we gave Brandon Williams freaking crazy wages. I'll tell you that now. It's also said that Erik ten Hag already knows a lot about Garnacho, and he's also asked for lots of reports on him. It said that sources at the Manchester United training ground say club officials are set for gave Erik ten Hag a subscription to MUTV so we could watch the rerun of the Youth Cup final, where he was impressed by Garnacho. And then Draper Rob also did a little bit of an article, not relevant to this one, but I thought I would include it, saying Erik ten Hag does have other targets, but he wants those deals signed off once Frenkie de Jong is confirmed. He doesn't want to find that Man United have signed 2 or 3 players and then they say they don't have enough to meet Barcelona's money. This was another news story. I know I've completely jumped ship. I will talk about the Garnacho thing, but this just come out that the reason we are going for De Jong and no one else is because we want to get De Jong in first because he's the priority, and then spend the rest of the money on our other targets. And look, I think United should be signing De Jong and other targets and signing multiple players at once, but maybe United's strategy is we need to make sure we've got the money for De Jong. Once we've got De Jong, we'll know how much money we've got left to get our other targets. Maybe that is the situation as well. Hannibal, I think he's ready. I do rate Hannibal, and Garnacho and Maino getting the new deals in there. They are ballers. Maino is a fucking baller. Gerardo and Alvaro Fernandes, the fullbacks, I know the defenders, they won't get the credit. They are ballers as well, and we got them 2 summers ago. The Spanish guys that we've got, Alvaro Fernandes, Garnacho, freaking ballers. I tell you that now. Updates on Greenwood. Greenwood's hearing is 23rd of June, so Thursday. We'll know on Thursday if he's guilty or not guilty, I think, or if his bail gets extended. But Greenwood's hearing is Thursday. Will be private, but I think it will be released Thursday night. Players will be annoyed, and players who won't have the wages will be pissed because it's asking for money and not showing talent. Well, I think Garnacho has the talent. He showed it at many levels. I just think, and he deserves a new contract, but I just think don't give him anything crazy when he's not scored a first-team goal yet. But Garnacho, Maino, MEJBRI, all those youth players, they have been crazy good. We won the Youth Cup for the first time since Paul Pogba was in the Youth Academy. As David says, guys, please do hit that like button, subscribe down below, share the video and all of that. We are on the road to 40,000 subscribers. We are 18 subscribers away from 38.8k. So if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. We've got 500 people watching. I'm sure 18 of you aren't subscribed, and it's absolutely free. I will be live every single evening on the channel, guys, keeping you guys up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more. So if you don't want to miss out on any exclusive Manchester United news or information, do subscribe. As being said, I think De Jong deal will be done this week. We're getting strong indications from reliable journalists that the Frenkie de Jong deal is likely and could be concluded this week, which is massive. So do make sure you subscribe for that so you stay up to date on the whole De Jong situation, because it's starting to move mad. It looks like things are starting to happen, and hopefully they do. And of course, smash that like button. But Garnacho getting a 6-year deal, Louis van Gaal dropping the Timber deal is what we've been talking about. We've got some positive De Jong updates, positive Eriksen updates, and reports that Manchester United will pursue other targets once they get the De Jong deal done. And then once De Jong's done, they are going to move for multiple targets, which include Eriksen, Tyrell Malacia, and potentially a move back in for JURRIEN Timber. So I think De Jong deal is going to be done in the next few days. Romano is basically saying it's going to be done in the next few days. It might not be announced for a week or two because of medicals, his holiday and all of that. But De Jong deal is going to be done in the next few days, and that's been said pretty much by Romano. If it doesn't happen, something crazy's happened. But once De Jong deal happens, all the other deals are going to happen. And I think from now onwards, and I'm going to say this with confidence, from now onwards, I believe shit's going to happen. I believe stuff is just going to take off and it's just going to happen. Arnold's spoken to the fans. He said stuff's going to happen. Blah, de, blah, de, blah. De Jong is actually close. Like, I know we've been getting told De Jong is close for 5 weeks, but this update that's come out an hour ago from Romano basically saying we're preparing our bid. Like, it's close. And then once De Jong's done, everything else can happen. We're planning on not doing anything until we've got De Jong, because he's going to be the main signing, the main player. But now stuff's going to happen, which is crazy. So do make sure you subscribe so you do stay up to date with that as well. We are now, we are now 15 subscribers away from 38.8k. So please do subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, and smash that like button as well. Blah de blah de blah. Kobe Mainoo, Garnacho is so good, but Kobe Mainoo is a baller as well. Hannibal will get some game time under Erik ten Hag, I'm sure of that. Goal Brave says similar to De Jong and Kimmich. Erik ten Hag will have them. I've not watched him play since he's left United on loan, but I do rate him. He's a good player. And as Rob says, like, subscribe and share. As Daniel said, like, subscribe and share. And United dividends are paid this week, so De Jong in, come in. True. Garnacho and Donny both deserve a chance, as Daniel, absolutely spot on. As Andrew said, let's get the likes up as well. Dembele going Chelsea or staying at Barca. Sterling going to Chelsea could stop it, but I don't know as well. Garnacho going to be a future star, exactly. Man's playing with Messi and Ronaldo already. Like, the guy is living life as well. Sign Timber now and loan him back to Ajax. We could do that, but I don't know if that's what we want to do. I think we'd want to sign him out to have him now. You could loan him back to Ajax for the first half of the season as well. There are some gems down in the youth, but this, with every class, you don't know until senior football. Garnacho is the closest to ready. Exactly. As well. But look, guys, I'm going to wrap up today's live stream in about a minute, so just get your final chats and for me to read out. But based on how little else we've done while negotiating for De Jong, it suggests a limited budget. Worry about the rest of our business. Very good point. I'm worried that we're going to get De Jong and Eriksen and one other player, and so we've got 3 signings in, but 2 of them we actually pay for. But, we'll have to wait and see. You didn't read my super chat. Did you send the super chat? Oh, sorry, I'll read it out now. If we don't get 2 to 3 midfielders, the season's done. I agree. We need a defensive partner for De Jong. De Jong and Eriksen, great. That's 2 midfielders, but we need a defensive partner for De Jong. Sometimes the blue super chats don't come up. The green super chats, the super chats over $5 will come up on my screen, but the blue ones don't, so I have to find that in the chat. So I do apologise for missing that super chat, but I agree. United need 2-3 midfielders. Absolutely as well. But thank you everybody for tuning into today's stream. Smash your like if your Glazers out. Thank you for watching. I'll be back live tomorrow night. There might be a video out tomorrow morning.